Hey everyone, with Easter coming up, I'm going to try and make hot cross buns today. So I've looked it up and we've got brioche hot cross buns from Cookie Doo. Let's start cooking. Grease a large bowl and line a baking tray. So I've got my bowl there, baking tray over there. Now we're going to place a bowl onto the mixing bowl lid and then weigh our butter into the bowl. So this is how you can weigh anything beforehand for a recipe. So butter in there, then they say set this bowl aside, and next we're going to put 200 grams of milk into our mixing bowl. Remember to tare. Next, 50 grams of sugar, 2.5 teaspoons of dried instant yeast. So a quick tip is just to put the yeast on the side of the bowl so it doesn't lie on your blades. 1, 2.5. Next, put our measuring cup on. And this is going to heat up to 37 degrees in the next 2 minutes. So our next step, we're going to add 2 eggs. This is now, the yeast is activated. 2 eggs, 500 grams of baker's flour, try not to make a mess. On the dot. Next we've got 1.5 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, half a teaspoon of ground cloves, and a teaspoon of sea salt. Then we're going to mix this all up again for 20 seconds. Okay, this is now nicely combined together and smells yummy. So we're going to go next, keep the measuring cup in, and now we're going to knead the dough for 5 minutes. Not we, the Thermomix. For every minute of kneading in here is like 1,000 of these. So now they tell us without a measuring cup, we're going to knead it another 2 minutes. So that's 5 minutes of kneading. So while it's kneading, we're going to add the butter in. Add the reserved butter 1 piece at a time through the hole in the mixing bowl lid. Okay, so that was 2 minutes kneading. That added the butter into the mixture. Now they're asking us to put a small bowl in the lid and weigh in the mixed dried fruit of choice. So my mixed dried fruit of choice is chocolates. This wouldn't be a recipe of mine if I didn't change it. With us being fructose, we're going to opt for the chocolate option. I'm not going to weigh it in. This is 200 grams, it'll be fine. So set your bowl aside. We're going to put our dough on a lightly floured surface. Take the blades out. quite a sticky dough. I must say I like the spicy smell of it. Smells like hot cross buns. I'm going to add our chocolate and just knead that in. You would do this with your fruit. So, it being Melbourne, we don't always have sunshine. I'm just going to take my thermo server. I've placed boiled water inside it so it can warm up. I'm just going to dump the boiled water, dry it out nicely, then grease it and place my dough inside to proof until it's doubled in size. You know it's proofed enough when your lid lifts up. Look at that. Once your dough is proofed, we're going to divide it into 12 equal sized pieces. So let's make some hot cross buns. Get the dough out of here. Divide into buns. If you want them exactly the same, you can measure your dough on the Thermomix. I'm not an exact girl, I'm a whatever. So, just make a little ball. Losing some of my chocolate chips. Smells so good. I've never made anything like this before, so let's see what it looks like. Mine's definitely not the same size. I'll just sort of fold it onto itself. Now to cover them and proof for another 30 minutes. In the meantime, we're going to the next step. A quick tip, if you didn't know, if you go to your recipe, you can just scroll up to the step you were and just press on it and it will take you back to that step. So now we're going to do the piece with the piping. Got to preheat our oven to 200 degrees. Then next, we're going to place a bowl into the measuring bowl lid and then weigh 40 grams of flour into it. I've done it before. Now we're going to add 50 grams of water in that bowl. It says weigh into bowl. So 50 grams in there. And also a teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil. Pinch of sea salt. Mix until smooth. And then we're going to pour it into a piping bag and pipe across onto the top of the reserved buns. Mix that up until it's smooth. I'm just going to use a Ziploc bag to pipe this. It helps to keep your bag in a cup to keep it upright. Okay, so we're going to cut the nozzle tip off and pipe it onto our buns. So let's try this piping. 10 millimeters. Might be a little bit thick. I might just use the other tip, make it slightly smaller. Yep, much better. You could leave this step out, but then you have hot buns and not hot cross buns. There we go. Ready for the oven. Okay, so while the hot cross bun's baking in the oven, Lisa Marie is going to help me to make the sugary syrup to paint on top. Let's go next. 40 grams of water. Thank you. And 40 grams of sugar. There we go. Okay, press next. Without the measuring cup. Say next. And 2 minutes on speed 3, 2.5.
Wat het ruikt baie lekker.
We'll use this to brush the sugar onto the buns while they're still warm, as soon as they come out the oven. They look yummy. So while they're still hot, I'll paint them with the sugar syrup. They're sizzling. Then let them cool for 10 minutes and put them on a wire rack. Enjoy, served hot with butter or whatever you fancy. And now for the best part. The taste test. Yum.